single day, to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, and hopefully make the suffering we're about to put ourselves through a little bit easier, a little bit more fun, a little bit more nice to stay consistent with. All right. So let's get into some warm up. First thing we're gonna do is called hip cars. CARS stands for controlled articular rotations, and they look a little like this. We're going to start by bring this knee up as high as we can directly in front. All right. If you feel like you can go a little higher, keep going. Go higher. Ugh. Then we're gonna open up that leg to the side. All right. We're gonna try and keep the hip as still as possible. We're gonna open up that leg to the side, and then I want you to see if you can bring the knee up just a little bit. Okay. Next, we're going to rotate. We're going to bring that knee so that it is facing that way. Okay. And we're going to rotate the leg so that the ankle is hidden. But the ankle's not actually anywhere. It's horizontal. It's just directly behind the knee right now. All right. From here, I want you to keep going. I want you to bring the knee down. I want you to bring that ankle up. Oh, feel the contraction here in your hamstrings. Bring that leg down and back directly behind you and flex your hamstring. Flex your glutes. Feel the stretch right here in the front end. Come on back down. That is one rep. We're going to do 10 of these on the left side. We're going to do 10 of these on the right side, all the way through. I want you to be contracting muscles. I want you to be pulling your leg into these crazy deep positions so that you get stronger while you get more mobile. Okay? It's not going to be easy, but it'll feel good when you're done with it because you'll wake up all these hip muscles. All right? Let's go. Stand up nice and straight. Keep that core nice and strong. Try to keep the hips in the same spot. All of the movement is coming from the legs. All right? Let's go. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Ankle up some more. Down and back. That's one high knee. Open. Ankle up. Ankle up some more. Down and back. That's two high knee. Open. Ankle up. Ankle up some more. Down and back. That's three high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's four high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's five high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's six high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's seven high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's eight high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's nine. Last one high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 10. Whew, those are a whole bunch of hip cars. If you're feeling your glutes firing, if you're feeling the outside of your hip right here firing from lifting that leg up, if you're feeling the front of your hip firing because you're trying to lift that knee as high as possible, you're doing them exactly right. All right. When you're first getting started, try your best to not have your hips go all over the place. It's going to be inevitable that you're going to try to lift your leg high and then you're going to lean out to the side. Just try your best to keep it up and down. All right. Your torso up and down. Next, we're gonna go do the other side. Slowly breathe and get ready. Let's go. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Ankle up. Some more. Bring that leg down and back. That's one high knee. Open. Ankle up. Ankle up some more. Down and back. That's two. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's three high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's four high knee. Open. Ankle up. Oh, down and back. That's five high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's six. Keep going. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Oof. Down and back. That's seven. I went a little fast on that last one because I almost lost balance. Ankle up. Down and back. That's eight. Two more high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's nine. Last one. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 10. Whew. Shake out your legs. Oh, if you've been a regular for a while and you've been doing this sort of leaning a little bit more, because that's how I've typically been doing them, you might realize that this version, where we're trying our best to stand up nice and straight, trying to keep our hips from moving all over the place, is going to be a little harder, especially on the balancing leg, on the leg that's trying to keep you stable. All right? Whew. That is completely normal. We're slowly upgrading the difficulty. And if you're just starting out and you're leaning a little bit, still trying to lift your leg up real high, that's absolutely okay. As you get stronger, as you get more control, you can try to straighten out and keep the hips in the same spot. All right. Oh, that was a lot of explanation about little fine tuning details. If you're brand new to the live, it is not that important. You don't have to worry about it. Give me just a second. There's a dog going crazy, licking some rain right now. Dog, what are you doing? Where are you going? You okay? All right, go that way. Oh, okay. Where are we going with this? We're gonna go and do some reverse hip curls. All right. In reverse, basically the same exact movement as before, just we're doing them backwards. All right. So we're gonna start by bringing this leg down and back. Boom. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, feel the stretch right here in the front. Then we're gonna lift that leg up to the side. All right. Same thing. We're trying to keep this hip as stable as possible. We're trying not to lean too far out because it's a little bit cheating. All right. Most of the time it's fine. If you just want to put it in, it's fine. But if you're trying to take it to the next level, because you've been doing this live for a while, try to keep your hips in the same spot and lift the leg up, adjust your muscles right here. All right, don't just go lean and go, hey, look, my leg is so high. I do it all the time, so I'm not judging. I'm just saying that when you're ready, here we are. Next, we're gonna rotate that ankle up. Oh, bring the knee down. Oh, bring the knee up. Bring the ankle down and bring that leg forward. That is one rep. This is a really hard version of our hip curls. All right, we're gonna do 10 of these. We got 9 more. That's the first one. We're gonna count it. Let's go. Hi, dog. If you stand here, I'm gonna kick you by accident. You want to say hi to everybody on camera? Say hi. I don't know if you know what a camera is, but oh, wiping your butt on the carpet. That's nice. That's nice. All right. Second dog has made an appearance. Everybody's coming in for a party today, so I'm just gonna be super careful not to kick them in the face, and you guys get to enjoy the spectacle of doggos. All right. I'm just trying to figure out how to get enough room so I can not have them in my primary angle of movement. All right, let's go. We're bringing the leg down and back. Boom. Flexing the hamstrings. I don't know why this is so concerning to you. The dog is just licking the ground by the door. It's fine. It's fine. She's okay. She's okay. Okay. Sorry. Animals are licking things that look a little weird, and it's just a pile of water. I don't know why she's licking the pile of water, but she has her own water. I promise. All right. Shoo. Bye bye. All right. Oh, oh man, that's stressful. Okay. Back to the show. We're doing reverse hip curls. Bring the leg down and back. Lift that leg up to the side. Rotate the ankle up. Rotate the ankle down. Bring the knee forward. All right. If you can, focus on trying to keep the legs and the hips mostly upright. Try not to lean your body super far out to the side. If you're just starting, you're just trying to figure out how to do it, it's totally fine to add it, to keep leaning a little bit. It's absolutely 100% okay. As you get stronger, as you get more control, as you feel more confident in the position, try to stay a little bit more upright. All right, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. It's probably 3 at this point. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 4. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 5. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 6. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 7. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 8. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. As you get more tired, you're going to be more inclined to be leaning. So that is completely normal. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 9. I think it's the last one. Let's go. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 10. Oh, whew. Lucky the dog passed right by me before I stepped down. Let's continue. We got one last hip to do. If your hips are feeling tired, do a little shake, do a little wiggle, relax them a little bit, and let's get ready to continue. Core, nice and tight. Bring that leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Try to stand up nice and straight. Keep your core and your hips stable. Lift that leg to the side. Try not to lean super far out. If your legs can't come as high without doing that, that is okay. All right. Boom. Rotate, bring the ankle up. Rotate, bring the ankle down. Bring the knee forward. All right. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's two. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's three. Back. Side. Ankle up. Arm up, bounce. Ankle down. Knee. That's four. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's five. Back. Side. This is our last set of hip cards, by the way. I feel like we've been doing this for forever, so I'm kind of glad it's over. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's seven. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's eight. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's nine. Gotta be careful not to kick the dogo. Take two steps in front. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 10. Oh, that is our reverse hip cars and our regular hip cars. We're going to move on into warm-up exercise number 2. All right. And we are going to get into some elephant walks real soon. But before we do that, I'm going to interrupt with we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. All right. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to entertain you with pets, and mostly entertainment in the form of me trying to be entertaining so that the stretches don't make us suffer nearly as bad, all right? So that it's easier to practice consistency. So hit follow, hit subscribe, coming back. We're live at 9 p.m. every single day. All right, cool. Elephant walks, let's go. We're going to fold at the hips. We're going to bring our belly buttons down towards the ground, and we're going to breathe. Relax, chill. Both dogs are just rolling around on the carpet now, so everything looks calm and chill. Oh, no, they're coming back. Keep on breathing. Keep on relaxing. Flop. All right. Once your back has chilled out a little bit and you're starting to feel it mostly in your hamstrings, we're going to add a little bit of movement. We're going to bend one knee. We're going to straighten out the other one. And we're going to fold the belly button down. All right? Then we're going to switch. Boom. And boom. And boom. And boom. And boom. And boom. And we're going to keep going. As you transition from side to side, your hamstrings are going to feel that stretch slightly differently. One leg is going to be more intense, probably the straight leg side, and then the other side is just going to feel different. Maybe not that much less intense, it'll just be different. Whew. Once you've done this for a little bit, we're going to go and increase the difficulty. All right, once you warmed up the muscles, they've gotten a little looser because you've been going back and forth. We're going to focus on bringing that belly button down just a little bit more. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Pop into a little bit of squat. Come on up into standing. That is our second warm-up exercise. Whew, shake out your legs. Do a little dance. Wiggle those hips. And let's get into warm-up exercise number 3. All right? What I want you to do is work on some thoracic rotation. The thoracic spine is basically this chunk of your spine below your neck, above your belly button-ish, and it's designed to bend and twist and bend and shake. And we're going to do a little bit of that right now. All right, we're going to get back into the position we're just in, where one leg is bent, one leg is straight, and our belly buttons are folding down. From here, we're going to take the arm from the bent leg side. We're going to reach across the body to the straight leg. We're going to push off that straight leg. We're going to open up that chest. We're going to stick our other hand up into the air. All right, we're going to look at the hand so the neck is rotated. We're going to breathe. Inhale, exhale, and as you exhale, I want you to reach behind your shoulder. Let's go. Reach. Whew. Oh, other side. Bent leg, straight leg, bent arm, straight leg. Open it up. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That is 1 rep. If you were here for this morning's live, you probably noticed that I started with 0 rotation. I was like, feeling much looser now that I've had a whole day to get loose. So I'm doing much better. Let's get into number 2. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Inhale, exhale, and reach. That's 2. Other side. That's 2 again. Keep going. 3, 3. The exhale, the inhale and exhale is very important, right? You need some air to, get your lungs feeling good so that you're not breathing. And when you exhale, you're letting a whole bunch of pressure out of your lungs so that it's easier to rotate and twist, all right? So make sure you're forcefully exhaling while you rotate. Cool? It's gonna help a lot. Bent leg, straight leg, bent arm, straight leg. Open it up. Look at the hand. Inhale, exhale. Reach. I think this is 4. Other side. Last one. Let's go. 5. Inhale, exhale, reach. And inhale, exhale, reach. That is our 5 thoracic rotations. Whew. Shake out your arms. Your shoulders might be a little bit tired because you probably don't reach that far behind you to do anything ever in your normal life. And now you've just done a whole bunch of reaching. So shake them out, relax. It's okay if they're a little tired right now because we don't really need them for anything else. They're just chilling. Hopefully, your spine is feeling a little bit looser. You can do a little wiggle, do a little dance, add a little bit of movement, nice and gentle and slow if you're not used to using your back to do cool things. And breathe, chill, relax. We're going to move on into our 4th and final warm up exercise right now. It is called the Cossack switch. It looks a little bit like this. We're going to get into a position where we're squatting deep on one leg and doing a side split basically on the other. All right, I'm going to scoot back, and doggo is back, and welcome back. We're going to end up in this position. All right, when we're here, we're going to scoot our butts over to the other side, mirror it on the other side, and then come on back. That is the Cossack switch. And the dog is wildly entertained by this weird thing that I'm doing. We are going to pre-warm up for the Cossack switch, all right? Because most of us, our ankles or knees or hips aren't going to be super ready for that movement. And what I want you to do, join in everybody, is to pop into a squat. Slowly come on down, sit your butt on the ground, and I want you to pull your chest to your knees, lean forward so your ankles are a bit off the ground, and chill right here, like you're doing a cannonball jumping into a pool, okay? Breathe, relax, sink a little bit deeper into this squished little cannonball position. And when you're ready, we're going to add a little bit of movement. Okay? What I want you to do is push one knee down, pull the other knee back, push the other knee down, pull the other knee back, and then switch back and forth a little bit. If you watch The Incredibles, you can do the Edna thing where you're pretending to walk around like this. If you want, you can push out one leg, you can push out the other leg, you can posture, you can pose, you can bring your legs back in, you can bring them out, and just figure out how to do some gentle movement for you from this position. Your ankles, your knees, your hips, probably doing all sorts of funny things. And this dog seems to be eating this bag of stuff. Hey, Lola, what are you doing? Are you being naughty? Don't look at me with those eyes. Go be not naughty somewhere else. Leave that alone. Okay. All right. Where are we going with this? We're doing some Cossack switches. All right. I want you to get into position. Slowly come on down into a deep squat on one leg. Extend the other leg out to the other side. Stick your hands down on the ground for support. This leg, heels are down, toes are up. It's not super important. This leg, your heel is down and you're getting as low as you can. If you're new to the show and you're starting a little bit higher up, it's absolutely fine. If you are a little bit more experienced, you got some time in this position already because you're a regular, feel free to get as deep as you can. All right. Regardless of where you are, our next stop is that way. So slowly come on over to the other side. Use your hands for support if you need it. Help walk yourself over to the other side and then get into position on the other side. Sink into that stretch. Sit a little deeper. Inhale, exhale. And that is half a rep. We're going to keep on going. Come on back. That is 1 rep. We're going to do 10 of these. All right. Take them nice and slow. Go at your own pace. Stay in control. And let's go. This is the first half of 2. Come on back. That's 2 for realsies. Come on back. Ooh, that's 3. If at some point you realize, hey, I don't really need my hands for support anymore, I'm strong enough, I got the power, feel free to not use your hands anymore. and keep going. I'm pretty sure this is 4. Keep going. And 5, if you want to make this a little bit more difficult, we got some options. You can try to sit up a little bit straighter. When you do, you're going to put a whole bunch of weight into your quads. Your low back is going to fire to help you keep your back straight. Stick your arms out in front of you and help counterbalance. This is 6. Keep going. And back. That's 7. Keep going. And 8. At this point, if your knees are feeling a little cranky because of this motion right here, we got some options for you. Instead of going and staying as low as possible when you go across, you can come up a little bit, come across, and then sink down. All right, up, across, down, up, across, down, and up, across. Oh, I lost balance. And down. I'm pretty sure that was 10 reps. All right. We just did 10 Cossack switches, 10 Cossack slidey thingies, and whatever alternative version of your hands or balancing that helped you get there. All right. That is our 4th and final warm-up exercise. Hopefully your hips, your knees, your ankles are a little bit more prepared. We're done with the pre-stretches. All right. Everything we've done so far has been to prepare our bodies for the hip mobility, the stretching we're about to do, and hopefully your heart rate is up, your body is a little bit more warm, because it's time to take up the intensity a little bit. If you don't know, because you're just joining in after we did a couple of Cossack switches, we do 45 to 60 minutes of live size with stretching every single day to practice consistency. This is the time that we are starting every single day. So come on back, hit follow, hit subscribe, and we'll see you again real soon. All right. First stretch is a hamstring stretch. What I want you to do is grab a little bit of padding for your knee, all right? Because we're going to get into the stretch a little like this. One knee is going to be down on the ground, one leg is extended in front, and we're folding our belly buttons down to the ground, like so, all right? What I want you to do is to grab something with a little bit of foam in it so that you can rest your knee on something soft. If you're at home, a couch cushion, decorative pillow will do. If you got some dirty laundry, you can roll it up, stick it under your knee. Perfect. I have a flip flop. If you got sneakers you don't care about that you're never going to wear outside because you wouldn't be caught dead wearing those things, stick it under your knee. Now they got a new life as knee padding. All right, we're ready. Extend the other leg out in front. Don't go crazy with it and try to do like a front split. Pull that leg in, suck it into your stomach, go and we're ready to fold. Bring this belly button down to that thigh. Whew. As soon as it gets tight, as soon as you go, oh, feel free to stop, breathe, and chill. All right, inhale, relax, let your body drape over that leg, chill. One more, inhale, relax. I'm gonna spin around so you don't have to stare at the top of my head for the whole entire stretch. You guys don't have to do anything at all because I can't see you. And I'm gonna double check where I am on the camera. Here we go. Once you're here, we're going to add a little bit of movement, all right? What I want you to do is try to bring your knee into a bent position and then try to bring your chest down to that knee, okay? If you need to come way high up to pull that off, go ahead, come way high up. And once you've touched, straighten that leg out. Try to keep your chest low, okay? So knee up, chest down, straighten. 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 Whew. Once you've done a couple of those, hopefully you've noticed that you're folding a little bit more further, and it's okay. It's all right. Everything's fine. Wow. All right, we're gonna go deeper now. That was a quick test to see how far you can go. Now we're gonna go a little bit deeper. Ready? We're gonna take a big inhale. And we're gonna slowly exhale a whole bunch of air out of our lungs, and while we exhale, we're going to fold a little bit deeper into our stretch. You ready? Let's go. Big inhale. Slow exhale and fold. Fold, 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 fold. Bring that belly button down. Whew. That is the next level of our stretch. From here, I want you to do with the inhale, relax. Ready? Inhale. Flop over that leg. Chill. One more. Inhale. Relax. Flop over that leg and chill. We're going to do a little bit of movement now. We're going to bend the knee. We're going to bring the chest down. We're going to straighten it out. Bend the knee, chest down, 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 straighten it out. You do not have to go fast. This does not have to be explosive. It's probably better to take it chill than anything. But in case you don't want to do them, I'm going to talk through them real fast. All right? That is a whole bunch. One more. Inhale, relax. Inhale. Relax. Oh. All right. We're going to go a little deeper now. All right. We're going to do the inhale, exhale, fold one last time. Let's do it. Big inhale. Slow exhale and fold. Fold, 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 fold. Bring that belly button down. Fold. Whew. That is our stretch. Inhale, relax. Let the body flop over that leg. One more inhale. Relax. Let that body flop over that leg and add a little bit more movement. Bend the knee. Chest down. Straighten it out. Bend the knee. Chest down. Straighten it out. Bend the knee. Chest down. Straighten it out. A couple more. And we're ready to go. Hold this for 30 seconds and we're done. 30, 29, 28, 27. If you're feeling a whole bunch of pressure in your knee, it's uncomfortable, you can give it a slight bend. That will take some pressure off and you can hang out here feeling that hamstring stretch. All right, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. If you are working real hard and you're feeling a whole bunch of tension in your mid back, in your upper back, in your shoulders, in your head because you're desperately trying to smash your face into your knee, you're rounding too much. All right. This stretch is coming from the hips. The hips folding forward is how you get that hamstring stretch going. So everything above your belly button, that's too much. Chill. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0. Come on up. Slowly walk your hands back. Bring your leg in underneath you. That is our one hamstring stretch. We got to do the other side though, so we're not done. Switch whatever knee support you got going on to the other side. Ooh, this chancla is not big enough to support my whole knee. All right, drop that knee. Extend the leg out in front. Fold the belly button down to that leg. And let's inhale, relax. Ready? Inhale. Relax. Whew, chill. One more. Inhale. Relax. Sink a little bit deeper into that stretch. Let your body drape over that leg. And we're going to add a little bit of movement. You ready? We're going to bend the knee. Bring the chest down. Straighten it out. Bend the knee. Chest down. Straighten it out. Bend the knee. Chest down. Straighten it out. You don't have to go fast. You don't have to do this explosively. You can take it as slow and gentle as you want. We're just trying to focus on that folding skill and putting a little bit of action, some dynamic movement into the hamstring. All right. Whew. Now that you've done a couple of those, it's time to take it a little deeper. You ready? Let's go. Big inhale, slow exhale, and fold. Let's do it. Big inhale, slow exhale, and fold. Whew. You're deeper into that hamstring stretch. Whew, 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 whew. If it's feeling really intense, by the way, you can stick your fingers into the muscles, massage them, poke them. It'll distract your brain from how intense the stretch is. But that doesn't matter because we're doing the next step. It is inhale, exhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. One more inhale. Relax. Let that body drop over that leg and add in that little bit of movement in. Bring that knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Bend that knee, chest down, straighten it out. Bend the knee, chest down, straighten it out. Bend the knee, chest down, straighten it out. One more, bend the knee, chest down, straighten it out. Whew. Are you ready? We're going to go a little deeper. Big inhale, exhale. Big inhale. Slow exhale and fold. Fold, 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 fold. Come on down a little bit deeper. And that is our final level. Inhale, relax. One more. Inhale, relax. And the knee bend now is optional. Bend the knee, chest down, straighten it out. 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 See if you can get a little bit more comfortable in this deep stretch. We're holding it for 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, keep breathing, 1, 0. That is our hamstring stretch. Hopefully, your legs are feeling okay because we're finally done with the hamstring stretch and we're ready to move on to some more stretches. We're going to move on into stretch number 2. It's called the butterfly stretch. All right. You can get rid of the flip flops. You can get rid of the shoes. You can get rid of whatever you're using to pad your knee because now we're sitting down on our butts. All right. I want you to sit down and I want you to rest your butt, your low back, your shoulders, your head up against a wall. I am not against the wall. This is a wooden bench, chest, cabinet thing, but it's very sturdy, and I'm gonna treat it like I would a wall. Okay? What I want you to do once you're seated and resting your whole back against the wall is bring your feet together and pull them in towards your groin. This is the setup for our butterfly stretch. The way we work this stretch is by getting the groin muscles to get a little bit more stretched out. The way we do that is by bringing the knees down into the ground. All right. I want you to get stronger as you work on these. So I want you to use your glutes. I want you to use your outer thigh muscles. I want you to pull your legs open and deeper into the ground. If you're new to the show and you're like, what are you talking about? How do I use those muscles? I've never heard of this before. Don't worry about the details. Focus on two things. One, your knees have gone a little closer to the ground. You're moving in the right direction. Two, if you're feeling a more intense stretch in your groin area, that is what you should be feeling. So you're also doing the right thing. All right. Next, we're going to hang out in this position. We're going to keep on using our muscles and we're going to attach some more muscles into this stretch. We're going to take our hands, we're going to push down on our legs. Every time you exhale, I want you to see if you can apply a little bit more pressure into that stretch and see how deep you can get. We're holding this for 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23. If your floor is very slippery, it is possible that as you apply pressure to your legs, you're going to push the legs a little further away and your butt is going to slide away from the wall. If that is happening, you can focus on one leg at a time instead of both legs at the same time pushing down. All right, I'll demonstrate. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Let everything go. Relax. Your knees will probably pop up a little bit, and that's absolutely okay. All right. If your wrists are a little tired, you can give them a little shake, a little flop. If your legs are not working so good right now, they're kind of stiff, give them a light shake with your arms, and that should wake them up so that you can kind of use them to flap around a little bit. Remember, butterfly in the butterfly stretch? Your legs are butterflies. Flap, 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 flap. All right, once you're done, a couple of those, we're going to get ready to get into our third stretch. It is called the standing pancake. Flap a couple more times. If your legs are good, let's go. Come on up into standing. Let's get into some standing pancake. All right. What I want you to do is open up your legs decently wide. Doesn't have to be crazy. If you can get 60 degrees, that would be perfect to start. If you're feeling tension, pain, a pressure right here in the hip socket, right here, that's a good sign that your hips are not ready to be that far wide. So bring your legs in just a little bit. Hopefully, you can do a little wiggle with your hips. See that nothing is feeling too crazy. And if that's the case, we're ready to fold. Bring this belly button down to the ground. Fold, 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 fold. Fold some more. Fold. Wee! Ugh. Here we are. Folded forward. This is our starting position. From the side, it's going to look a little like this. Bring the belly button down. All right. The goal of the pancake is to bring your upper body basically in between your legs. And that is a crazy, crazy stretch, is a crazy goal. So we're going to do the version, the standing pancake, that has gravity helping us the most. All right. As much help as we can get because we need it. Next, I want you to See if you can open up your legs a little bit wider. Just find a comfortable spot. It doesn't have to be for maximum depth, just a nice stable position for you. Fold the belly button down a little bit lower if you can. Fold some more. Try to breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. If you want gravity to work super hard for you, stick your biceps by your ears. Extend your arms and breathe one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little bit deeper into the stretch. If you hold something, your hands will be even crazier. Okay? That's the gravity assisted version. You can just hang out here for the next 30 seconds. But if you're a little bit more advanced, you're a regular on the show, feel free to grab your legs and straighten out your back a little bit and try to pull yourself, fold yourself into a deeper stretch. All right? Those are your options. Get ready. Get set. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. You're going to feel this stretch in two different places at the same time. One of them, the obvious one, is your hamstrings. All right? They are lengthened because you're trying to fold forward. The other place you're going to feel this is in your inner thighs. You can go as wide as you want, but regardless of how wide you're going, they're going to start firing to keep you stable, to keep you from slipping into a deeper stretch. And that is going to make you real tired. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, we're done. Put your hands down on the ground. Whew. Push off. If your inner thighs are fried right now and don't want to move, slowly wiggle your toes in, wiggle your heels in, 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 wiggle your toes in, wiggle your heels and toes and heels and toes and heels until your legs are together, until they're underneath you. You can slowly walk your hands up your legs, push off, come back into standing. All right. I briefly mentioned this earlier. You're feeling a huge stretch in your hamstrings whenever you fold forward. Doesn't matter if your feet are together or if your legs are apart. If you're folding forward, your hamstrings are going to let you know that they're working. All right. The other place you probably felt it was in the inner thigh muscles. These are called the adductors, and it's actually pronounced adductor, but it's hard to hear if it's an abductor or adductor. So people say adductor and abductor, but even the B and the D sound super similar. So I don't know if it actually helps. Anyways, tangent aside, your inner thigh muscles are gonna be real tired if you're hanging out in these deep, wide positions. And now that you know about them, hopefully you've recovered a little bit from them, and we're ready to move on into our fourth stretch. We're going to move on into some figure four stretch. I'm pretty sure that's what we did this morning. So let's go. The figure four and its sibling, its other stretch that we are able to do right here because they're interchangeable, is the pigeon. They got the same fundamentals. All right. So if you've done yoga before, you know which one you prefer. You understand the pigeon. Feel free to do the pigeon if you'd like. All right. I'm just going to demonstrate the figure four. We're taking one leg, we're crossing over to the other side, making this thing that kind of looks like the number four. We're going to grab this ankle. We're going to bring it up to our belly button. We're going to bring our belly button down to the ankle, and it's going to look a little bit like this from the side. Okay. You want to feel a stretch here in the side of that hip. It is actually a glute muscle. You also feel a stretch here in the hamstrings. You might also feel something here in the hip because you're folding down that way. In the figure four, we're going to be laying down on our backs. In the pigeon, we're going to be folding and bring our chest down. Today, I'm going to demonstrate the figure four. So let's get ready to go. Lay down. Oh, man, that's nice. Relax. Chill for a second and take one leg, cross it over to the other side. Once you've created this triangle in your legs, we're going to stick one arm through the triangle, one arm around the outside of the leg, and we're going to try and grab our knees. We're going to pull them into our chest. All right? We'll bring this leg to our belly button and our belly button to that leg, except we're adding this knee into it. Next, as you chill here, I want you to breathe and pull your leg in a little bit closer to your thighs. Or, sorry, to your chest. Your chest and your thighs together. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe. Pull a little bit deeper. Inhale. Exhale. Pull a little bit deeper. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Pull a little bit deeper. We are ready to go. 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, Just because I'm counting down does not mean you can just chill, okay? Try to your best to bring your legs into your chest. Oof, 22, 21, 20. If your knee is getting uncomfortable in this position, you can cup the knee and pull it into your chest and protect it and pull it in. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our figure four stretch. And there is a lot of dog energy going on right now. Okay, Penny. So feisty. All right, we're going to switch to the other side. Come on down. Taking the other leg, crossing over to the other side, and making this nice triangle. Sticking your hand through the triangle, other arm around the other leg. And once you're here, let's pull that leg into the chest. Pull, 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 pull. Pull some more. Pull again. Keep pulling. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Pull a little bit more. Inhale. Exhale. Pull a little bit more. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. Again, if your knee is feeling a little achy, you're feeling a little too much pressure, you can cup the leg, cup the knee area directly and give that a nice pull into your chest. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Whew. Let those legs drop, let the arms drop, let the feet drop to the floor. You can let your legs drop to either side and get a little bit of rotation and relaxation in the spine right now. Whew, 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 whew. That is our fourth stretch. We're doing 5 stretches in total. All right. The fifth and final one are some side splits. We're doing 3 rounds of 30 seconds of side splits. In between each round, we're going to shake it out. We're going to try our best to relax because each round of side splits is going to make our muscles super tense. And when they're super tense, you're not going to get that much more progress out of them. Okay. If you've never been here on the show before, we're doing basically 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. And we do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering that we're putting ourselves through a little bit more fun, a little bit more engaging, entertaining, to make it a little bit easier to practice the number one quality, consistency. All right. So if you like those things, hip mobility, side splits, consistency, hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back. I make a lot of this content, aka I do this live every single day at 9 p.m. Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week. And you should be here for more. Cool? Cause consistency. All right, let's get into side splits. ah, man. I get tired of hearing myself say the thing that I say. Okay, let's continue. Let's do some side splits. First thing I want you to do is be safe. All right, I want you to be comfortable. I want you to feel like you're in control of your space because when you're comfortable, it's going to be much easier for your muscles to relax. And that's what we're trying to teach ourselves to control. The relaxation of our muscles helps us get into our splits. All right. What I want you to do is rest your butt up against the wall. Take half a step forward, 1 step forward, really, really, really small, itty bitty, tiny bit of space in front of that wall so that your butt can always rest against the wall. I am not against the wall. There's this big wooden thing right here, but I've been doing this for hundreds and hundreds of days live, so I don't need the wall to be this high. I'm going to use the wall when it's down here. Okay? So if you're also really comfortable with this, you don't have to use a wall in the future. You can use something as long as it's stable near the bottom. Cool? All right. From here, we're opening up our legs. If you have some tension, some pain right here in the hips, you've already gone too far. Stop, 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 stop. Chill. This is about relaxation. All right. Bring those legs back in together. Make sure there's no pain in the hips. You can do a little grooving, some dancing, and then focus on bringing that belly button down to the ground. Whee! Ugh. As soon as you get stuck, see if you can stick your hands down and reach the floor. All right. If you can, great. Keep on using your hands. If you cannot, Or you just don't want to because it's a pain in the butt, feel free to elevate your hands with a stool, with yoga blocks, with a coffee table, with something to support your hands. All right. I'm going to have something imaginary here to do it. These past couple of days I've been using the chair, but the chair takes up so much space. I'm just going to have an imaginary stool. All right. When you're here in this position and your hands are on the stool, you're reducing some of the burden on your leg because you're putting some of it into your arms. All right. When that burden is reduced, you're going to have much less tension in the legs, and that means it'll be a little easier for you to go a little bit wider into your stretch, a little deeper into your stretch. All right. Once you are here, keep imagining I have stools underneath me. We're going to rotate our legs. All right. Right now, our knees are kind of pointing forward, maybe at diagonal ish. We want that knee to be pointing straight up, and we want the foot to go from flat on the ground to boom, heels up, knees up, heels down. We want to do this on both sides. Toes up, knees up, heels down. You're still on your imaginary block. Now, rest your butt against the wall. Let your butt slowly slide down the wall and see if you can open up your legs a little bit wider. Okay? We're going to inhale, exhale, sink a little bit deeper. Inhale, exhale, sink a little bit deeper. Inhale, exhale, sink a little bit deeper. If at any point you're like, I can't go any deeper, this is madness, feel free to stop. All right. You don't have to keep pushing if you don't want to. If you're not ready today, it's totally fine. This show is about consistency. If you get injured, it's going to be really hard to stay consistent. Cool. All right. If you're ready for more, we're going to add a little lean to the right. Boom, a little lean to the left. Boom, a little lean to the right. Boom, a little lean to the left. See if you can get just a tiny bit deeper. Still comfortable. Once you're as deep as you can get, we're ready to begin. Try to breathe. And 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Walk your hands forward. Bring your legs in underneath you. Grunt, groan. Make as many sound effects as you need to. And that is our first sizable stretch. Again, if you were stuck a little bit higher up, you needed that stool real bad to help keep your weight off your legs, that is totally fine. That's totally okay. All right. Take your time. Gracefully come down to the floor. You don't have to try to push yourself if you don't feel like it. All right. Oh, now that we are here in this kneeling, chilling position, it's time to get up. It's time to shake out some tension. It's time to help reset our bodies so we can get into side split number 2. Cool. Slowly come back up into standing. Oof. Oh, waddle around like a drunk penguin for a second. Shake out your legs a little bit if you can, and let's get ready to shake, 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 shake. I want you to take a look at your ankle, and I want you to slowly shake it, flick it out, do a little dance with them. And if it's comfortable, if it feels okay, I want you to pick up the intensity. Shake it a little harder. Flop, go crazy. The reason why we're shaking out the ankles right now is because if you were to point your toe, if you were to flex your foot, if you were to do ankle circles, all sorts of muscles will be engaging in your calves, in your, below your knee, in your foot to get you into those positions. But when you're in those positions, because your legs are relaxed and flopping and going crazy, all these muscles that were working have to be relaxed enough to let you get there. All right. This is what this is all about. We're trying to make sure these muscles are relaxed. And when you shake it, when you flop it, when you go, turn yourself into a soggy, overcooked noodle, that is when those muscles are pretty relaxed. And that's good enough. All right. Other side. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Start wherever you're able to. You can go nice and gentle in the ankle. And if you find it comfortable, you can go much harder. You don't have to go 0 to 100 all at once. You can take it up little levels, 10% increments until your legs are relaxed. Take a couple of quick steps. Make sure your legs don't feel like you're still a drunk penguin. And we're ready to move on into our hips. All right. I want you to put all of your weight into one leg, and I want you to put the big toe of the other leg down on the ground. We're going to rotate this knee in and out, and in and out, and in and out, and in and out. I want you to really focus on getting that hip through its maximum range of motion, really pointing that way with the knee, really bringing it in, almost touching the knees together if you can when you bring it in. I want you to build strength and control here. Okay? Other side. All your weight is in one leg, big toe is down, in, out, in, out. Despite whatever it is that I'm doing with my hands, notice that is just the thigh bone where it connects into the hip that is doing all of the work. Right? Nothing else is really moving. We're trying to build some strength here in our hip muscles. This is really good for you in general. We do a little bit of a similar motion when we're doing the hip cars in the very, very beginning of our warm up. And when you've done a couple of those, shake out your legs, kick them around, flop them a little bit, and hopefully your hips, your legs are relaxed enough to get into side split number 2. We're going to drop into side splits. Let's go. Butt up against the wall. Take half a step forward in front of that wall. Open up those legs. Breathe. Chill. And see if you can get your legs a little bit wider. All right. If your hips are hurting, bring your legs back. Otherwise, fold your belly button down into the ground. Wee! Ugh. As soon as you get stuck, see if you can put your hands down. If your hands can reach, great. You might be able to just use your hands. If you're unable to reach, or it's a real pain in the butt for you to do so, feel free to elevate your hands with a stool, with yoga blocks, with some encyclopedias, with some old textbooks, with whatever random stuff is lying around. Okay? Just make sure it's stable and it won't collapse underneath your weight. Cool? Or slide and fall apart. The encyclopedias and textbooks, they might slide. So be careful. Okay? From here, we're going to open up our legs a little bit wider. And then we're going to externally rotate them so that the knees and the toes are pointing up. Remember? We're going boom, boom. Heels down, toes up, knees up. All right? If you have not done very many of these, you might feel there's a whole bunch of pressure in your heels right now. And if you need to go grab a little bit of padding, feel free to do so. Otherwise, for everybody else, our butt is resting on the wall. Our hands are on the stool, on the support. Our legs are wide. Our knees are pointing up. Our toes are up, and our heels are down. And we're going to breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little bit deeper. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little bit deeper. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little bit deeper. If those breaths were too much, you're hyperventilating a little bit, you can chill out now for just a second. If your knees are pointing up into the air and the top of your head is basically pointing up into the air, you're still in your side split position. You can start relaxing the muscles in your legs as much as you want. All right? Relax the toes, relax the feet, relax the calves, the hamstrings, the glutes, the low back. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Oh, sink a little deeper into your stretch. Here we are. Side split number 2. If you want, you can stay right here where we are. If you want to change it up a little bit, here's another option. If you walk your hands forward, maybe one step, so it looks like you're about to do a push-up, you're going to take your hips, you're going to rotate forward so that your butt is no longer resting on the wall, and your knees might be pointing up, kind of at a diagonal, kind of at 45 degrees. When you do this, you're going to feel more of a stretch in your inner thighs, and that's what we want. 30 seconds, let's do it. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. If you are a super regular and you want to take this experience up to another level, instead of keeping your hands down and letting gravity do all the work, pulling you down into the ground, you can slowly try to remove one hand. You can slowly try to remove both hands and see if you can use your muscles to hold yourself up. As soon as it gets too much, put your hands back down, relax, chill. And when you're chilling, see if maybe you can get a little bit deeper into the stretch. All right? 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, walk your hands forward. Oh, slowly. Grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to. Bring your legs in underneath you. Oh, whew. Especially if you did the last suggestion where you try to use your own muscles to support you. That probably was going to be a little tough. So Breathe, chill, grunt, groan, and give yourself a second. That was our second side split. We're gonna come back into standing. We're gonna shake out our bodies, shake out our legs, help reset again for our final round, our third and final side split. And then we're gonna do some more shaky, some joint checks just to make sure everything's okay, and then we're done. All right. Come on up into standing. Whew. Let's do this. Shake out your ankle. Remember, we're looking at the ankle. Or give it a gentle shake. And then if you find it's comfortable, you can take up the intensity up 10%, another 10%. These are cumulative 10%, right? They're like 10% to 20% to 30%, not 10% to 11% to like 12.1% or whatever, that number is. Oh, shake out your ankles. Go a little harder. Let the calves relax. Let all these muscles below the knee relax. Flop it around. Shake, 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 and switch to the other side. Shake, 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 shake. If you're regular, you've probably done lots of these, and you can probably go into a more intense shake right away. If you're new to the show, you might want to start a little bit more gentle and pick up the intensity as you find it comfortable. All right. Once you've done a couple seconds of those, take a couple of steps, double check, make sure you're not super wobbly and feeling pretty good. Once you have confirmed that you're feeling okay, we're gonna move on into the hips. I just sneeze. Woo, woo. Oh, a single sneeze. That's rare. I usually do doubles and triples. Yeah, it's a single. Okay, continue. All your weight is in one leg. Big toe is down on the ground. Rotating the knee in and out and in and out and in and out. This is the basic format of this next thing. All right. If you want to take it up to the next level, you want to have some fun with this movement, I'm going to show you some options. All right. When we bring this knee in, if we pull it in, kind of gracefully drag that leg behind you when you bring it in. Looks a little bit like a stanky leg, all right? You can go boom, pull that leg in. Boom, pull that leg in. If you rotate it back out and you push the leg back out, boom, you can make that all graceful and slidey, and you can turn this into some cool looking moves that you can break out. It's already Sunday night, so you'll have to break it out next week, but that just means you got a whole week to practice, all right? Other side. Bring that leg in, rotate, point it out, push it back out. Boom, in, out, in, out, in, out. We're building this hip mobility. You should put it to work, put it to use. Make yourself look cool, make yourself look graceful, have fun with it. All right? Whew. I think that's probably good for now. Let's get into side split number 3, and we'll talk about the shaky, shaky, relaxy thing version of that hip thing. All right? Let's go. Side split number 3. Butt up against the wall. Take half a step, maybe one step forward. Open up those legs nice and wide. Focus on bringing your belly button down to the ground. Make sure your hips don't hurt before you do that. And if they do, bring your legs together. Otherwise, let's go. See if you can bring your hands down to the ground. If you don't need hand support, skip it. But if you don't want to do it this way, feel free to get a little bit of support. Stool, textbooks, yoga blocks, chair. You can even use a chair and have your elbows rest on it, right? So, whatever you're doing, I hope you're ready because we're rotating the legs. Boom, heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. Other side, heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. Put your hands on your support if you're using it, or the floor if you're not, and drop a little bit deeper. Inhale, exhale, sink a little deeper. Inhale, exhale, sink a little bit deeper. Inhale, exhale, sink a little bit deeper. If at any point you need to stop, feel free to chill out. I'm talking fast because I'm covering this for the third time, and some of you don't need to hear it for the third time. But if you are brand new to the show, I hope it's helpful. All right. Once you're here, we're gonna try our best to do a little lean to the right, a little lean to the left, a little lean to the right, a little lean to the left. See if you can get just a tiny bit deeper into the ground, and we're ready to start the countdown. All right. You got options. You can sit up straight. You can lean forward a little bit, feel that stretch more in your inner thighs, and those are your two options. So pick one, and we're counting it down: 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, just like before. If it feels strong, you can try and hold yourself up with your muscles for a little bit. So as it gets tiring, you can put your hands down, come out of it, see if you can get a little tiny bit deeper into the stretch. If you need to be scientific about it, do 5 seconds contracting, 5 seconds relaxing, and see if you can get a little bit deeper. All right. I forgot to count. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Put your hands down. Oh, grunt, groan. Make as many sound effects as you need to. Bring your legs in underneath you. Oh, oh, that is our third and final side split. Oh, come back into some sort of chill-ish experience. If you need to flop on the floor to rest, please do it. We're done with all the suffering. It's just time to chill out now. All right. Oh, when you're ready, come on back into standing. Bounce a little, move a little, wake up all the body parts that we've been stretching, we've been warming up, we've been getting loose, and shake out that ankle. Shake, 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 shake. Shakety, shake, 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 shake some more. Whew. This is all about relaxation. All right. How you relax, the extent to which you relax, that is up to you. We start with the ankles because it's easy to see when the ankle is relaxed. But if you want to start combining all the different things we learned about, the in, out, into your shakiness, and start flopping all over the place, feel free to do that. There's no rule to how you relax. Just my tips, my guidance to help you figure it out. And then once you figure it out, you can experiment. Cool? All right. Once your ankles are shaken out and your legs aren't quite so drunk penguiny, we're ready to move on into our hips. All right. All your weight is in one leg. Big toe is down. Starts with these go in and out. Build strength, build control, build speed. And once you've built that control, we can experiment with the next level. I want you to focus on relaxing again. All right. All your weight is in this standing leg. This leg is kind of off to the side. There's almost no weight on this leg. You can bend it just a little bit to make it easier to rotate and do the same moves that we were doing before, right? In, out. But now we're going to go fast and we're not going to go as deep. And when you change direction really fast, your muscles that are loose, that are not flexing, are not going to be able to keep up. And then your whole leg is going to look like it's made of jello. It's going to flop all over the place. And that is the type of relaxation we want. Whew, shake out that thigh. Other side. All you raise is one leg. Big toe is down. Oh, sorry. Just kidding. Oh, yes. We're working on that in, out, in, out. If you can't get to any of these other stages of this movement, feel free to focus on the basics. And then when you're ready, extend that leg off to the side, bend your knees just a little bit, rotate fast, let the legs flop around, flop, 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 and that is some relaxation. We're gonna move on into some joint checks, and we're gonna wrap up with some Q&A. All right, slowly do some hip circles. Oh, come on through that range of motion in your hips. We've been working on hips all night. Oh, especially in the left and right side of the hip when you're doing the side splits. That might feel quite sensitive right now, so feel free to take your time, chill, lean into it. Oh, do a couple circles one direction, do a couple circles the other direction. This is whatever you want to make of it. You don't have to do it the exact way I'm doing it, all right? Because at the end of the day, this is about you. Whew, whew. All right, if you're ready to move on, let's do a quick high knee. Make sure you're able to lift those legs. If they come up, you're ready to move on. Let's do some calf raises from a squatting position, all right? I want you to have your feet directly under your hips, not too wide, not too close, mostly because when it's too close, people tend to lose balance. I want it hips width or maybe shoulders width apart. All right. From here, we're gonna drop down into a squat looking position. From the side, I want it to look a little bit like this. I want you to fold your chest down to your thighs, and I want you to push your knees so that they're way far going that way. I want you to be in this position where you feel like you're about to tip over and fall on your face. Okay? The reason why we want that is because this really forces your toes to kick in and the arch of your foot to kick in to keep you stable. Your feet are going to grip the ground to keep you from toppling over, and that is the type of engagement we want from our feet. All right? Oh, if you're ready, we're going to do some calf raises. Stick your hands down for support if you need it. If you don't, just come on up and bring those heels up as high as you can. Come on down. If your first couple, you lose your balance and you fall back down real fast, that's okay. Try and do a little bit better on the next one, like I did. All right, what we're doing from the front is trying to balance our weight between the big toe and the middle toe, right behind that area, right around here. All right. And when you come up, I want your heels to come straight up. If you try to spread your weight across the whole forefoot, it tends to do something like this, where your knees start pointing out to the sides. All right. So focus on the big toe, the index toe, and maybe even the middle toe being where your weight is centered. Whew. Once your quads and your calves are ready to quit, let's talk about what we just did. We just put a whole bunch of pressure onto our toes because the toes were gripping the floor, and that gripping was so hard we created an arch. Even if you have flat feet, your arch muscles were kicking in to keep your foot stable. All right. When you push your knee forward like this, you're gonna get that nice stretch in your Achilles tendon and in your calves. Your quads are holding us up. They're firing real hard to keep us supported. I'm sure you felt it. And our low back was trying to keep our back supported. So those are the big muscles that were working pretty crazy. When we did the calf raise, we got those calves to work nice and hard, and we had all the joints in between working really, really, really hard. The toes, the feet, the ankles, the knees, the hips, they're all working real good, hypothetically. If you're able to do about 75, 80% of what we just demonstrated, you're probably doing pretty good and you're ready to go back to whatever else you got to do today. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in, practicing consistency, working on your side splits, working on your hip mobility with me today. We are done with today's round of consistency. If you have not been here before, make sure to keep coming back. We do this live every day at 9 p.m. Eastern, which was an hour and 6 minutes ago when we started. And if I haven't said the word consistency enough, I'm going to say it some more times. This show, obviously, is about moving better, getting a little bit of exercise to end your day, but it's also about making a little check mark in the back of your head to remind you that you are the type of person who shows up consistently. And it's not because it's kind of because I want you to keep coming back, but it's also because when you develop the skill of consistency, when you deep down believe that you're just someone who can be consistent, can do whatever it is that you care about, focus on it, and show up for it, that becomes a magical skill you can use your whole entire life for any other cool thing that you want to do. It doesn't have to be about hip mobility, it doesn't have to be side splits. I believe in consistency so much that if you showed up and you just did your homework at 9 p.m. for whatever certification class degree that you're working on, while the rest of us grunted, sweated, made our muscles hurt, I wouldn't mind, right? If setting time aside, hang out with other people who are trying to build consistency, who are trying to better themselves helps you, then please make use of this live however you will. Cool? All right, that's the consistency spiel. And I make some other fitness content over on YouTube and TikTok. So you should hit follow and subscribe because while you're doom scrolling, you'll get more of it. A lot of that content is about integrating a little tiny bit of fitness into your regular life, all right? So that you don't have to feel like, oh, I'm not going to be at the gym till tomorrow. I'll save this, for next time, for when I go to the gym, and then eventually you'll completely forget exactly whatever video you saw, right? You're going to save it into your little file, and then you're never going to open that save folder, so you'll never actually see it again. The goal here in most of my content is to remind you that everything around you can be fitness. All right. You don't have to go pump iron. For most of us, at most fitness levels, your body weight is plenty. All right. That means you can just do stuff at home and it will make a huge difference for how you feel, for how well your muscles are doing, how well your joints are doing, and all that stuff is free. So don't sleep on a little bit of exercise when you're waiting for your coffee to come out the machine. Don't sleep on that little bit of exercise when you're waiting 2 minutes for the microwave to finish warming up your lunch. Don't sleep on those 2 minutes when you're waiting, actually, probably like 3 to 5 minutes while you're waiting for your ramen to soften before you put in the sauces and you can actually eat the thing, right? Those are valuable minutes where if you spent that time doing something like Cossack switches, one of our 4 warm-up exercises, you would be doing crazy. If you could do 3 minutes of Cossack switches nonstop, that would be insanity. All right. You'd be sweating so hard by the end of 3 to 5 minutes. If you had time to do a couple of hip cars, if you know you got a funky part of your hip that feels a little bit weird and you No, you should spend a little bit more time working on it because we've done hip cars together. Those 2 minutes waiting for your coffee to boil, you can add a little bit of movement into your life. All right. Your joints, especially the big ones, your hips, your knees, your ankles, those don't have blood vessels feeding nutrients into them. All right. They get nutrients when you move. When you move, some other liquids, some magical juices and sauces up in your joints shift around and move. All right. And they only move when you move. So if you've been babying a knee, you've been trying to take care of it real nice, real gentle, and you haven't been doing very much with it, and you're like, wow, my knee still hasn't recovered. It's feeling stiff all the time. If it's been a while, consider moving around a little bit more, right? Doesn't have to be crazy. I'm not telling you to go jump if your knee is super painful, right? I'm just saying do a couple of knee bends, all right? Do a couple of half squats. Hold on to the kitchen stove while you're waiting for the microwave and do a couple of half squats. Get a little bit of movement into that joint, and the magic of your body will start doing its job. Cool. All right. Do I have anything else to cover? I think that's everything. This live is every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern, which means you should come back for the time that was an hour and 11 minutes ago. Whatever time that is for you, that is when we're live every single day. And I hope you come back soon so we can practice consistency and also side splits because side splits look cool. All right. All right. I'm going to check out the Q&A and see what's up. I feel like there's been a lot of chit chat and I have not been able to really focus on it. So what we got over on YouTube. I'm gonna check that out first because usually we have way fewer comments in YouTube. Queen RR says, "Hello, let's do this." Nice. Eth Gark DD9HB says, "Hi." Hello, hello. Jay Chen says, "Hi." Mercy and Diesel says, "Hi." Oh wow, lots of people are saying hi. Buta Zart Yusuf asks, "What is the difference between usable and visible abs?" You have big calves. Thank you for the compliment. Um, Visible abs are just things you can see, right? Visible abs don't say anything about whether or not they're usable or not. It's just that they're visible, right? You can see them. So if somebody is relatively lean, so they don't have, a bunch of fat covering their muscles, they'll have more visible abs. So to have visible abs, you can have a couple of different combinations of ways to see them. If there's not much fat on top of them, they'll be more visible. If they're incredibly ridiculously strong and you have like medium amounts of fat, you might still see them. But in general, because they're your muscles and your muscles are always going to exist, the less the layer of flesh in between your abs and your skin, the easier it will be to see them. That is the varying levels of visibleness in abs. But usable abs, I would guess that you're hearing this because somebody's telling you about training. When your core is strong, when you're able to do stuff with your abs, maybe that is holding a plank for a while, holding a side plank for a while, or I don't know, what else do you use abs for? Um, your core is used for a lot of things. Um, I don't have a really good. Even when you're doing things like this, where you're doing completely different feats of strength, where you're just lifting your butt off the ground and trying to float, your core is working real hard. That is the difference between usable and visible. Usually, if you have really strong core, it's really strong abs, um, you might probably care about being lean enough to show them off, right? And so a lot of people who have usable abs also have visible abs. They're not mutually exclusive. They're just different, ways to describe somebody's core. Cool. All right. What else we got? Crab Chess 17 on YouTube says, "My hips are tight until I pop them. I stretch and stretch, and they're always tight. Are there any specific stretches or exercises to help with this that you know?" Yes. If your hips are always tight when you keep on stretching them, chances are they need to be worked on strength wise. Okay. So you need strength training for your hips. Um, there's a lot of different things you can do for your hips to strengthen them, but most of them will look like the hip cars in a way. Okay, when we do our hip cars, which is our first warm-up exercise, we're doing this thing where we're lifting the knee up directly in front, right? Any variation of lifting your leg up is going to strengthen a whole bunch of muscles here in the front of that hip, right? So if you imagine your leg is straight instead of bent, lifting your legs is going to help strengthen stuff in the front. All right. In our hip curls, we have this leg opening motion, right? If you were to take that same exact motion, but you were to take it from the floor and were to do something that looked more like this, these are called fire hydrants. I think this happens in Pilates quite a bit, where you're lifting this leg up, you're using the side of your hip to lift your leg up. That is a good body weight, no tool way of starting to strengthen these muscles a little bit, right? When you're doing this version, when you're just lifting, you're fighting gravity by lifting your leg up. You're not fighting gravity by clenching these side muscles. But when you're face down like this, these muscles in the side of your hip have to work because your leg wants to fall down. It wants to be pulled down by gravity, right? So if you're feeling a little bit here that needs the stretching, that might be, something you can work on. What else happens in hip car? Boom, boom, rotation. Um, rotation is very, very common to need work because most of us don't do very much of it, right? So if you've seen fitness videos where people are doing what's called 90-90s, where they bring the knees down and across, oh, that that is basically the same motion when we're doing this, right? Boom. If we were standing, it would be open and rotate the knee down, right? If we were sitting down, it would be open, rotating the knee down. And what's the final one? Hip extension. If you don't have a stressful enough time flexing the hamstrings, flexing the glutes, feeling the stretch here in the front of the hip during our hip cars, you can make them a little bit harder by doing this from all four. You can flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, lift that leg as high as you can, and gravity will be working against you much harder, and you can build some strength that way, right? Those are the majority of the angles that you can target your hips to help strengthen those muscles so that you can move a little bit better and uh, it'll be a little less stiff. If you've been stretching a long time and you feel like it hasn't solved the problem, usually what you need is a lot more strength. And those are a quick level up from what we're already doing in the hip cars to bring your strength up. If you're looking for something that's more intense than that, uh, you might want to invest in some bands, something to add a little bit more resistance. For example, this leg, bring it out this way, right, in all of its forms, opening up that hip. If you have an elastic band that's pulling across and attached to something, and you're actively resisting against the pull of that band, that will make these muscles stronger. If you do Pilates or you watch some Pilates videos, they have these things called like clamshells, similar in concept. If you have an elastic band between your legs and you work on these, you'll work on some of these muscles a little bit more as well. For the leg back thing, if you put an elastic and tie it to your heel, every time you pull against the elastic and bring it up, it's going to be your leg fighting against the elastic instead of just gravity, right? Same for the front raise. If you put some more weight into the leg when you're lifting, it'll become much harder. And I'm trying to remember what else did we do? Open, open, rotate. Um, this rotation you can make harder just by putting your own body weight into it while doing this rotation. Try not to start immediately going super fast into those. That will definitely not make your hips happy. Build up slowly, use your hands. And I hope that was detailed enough with enough examples so that you can always go back to that hip car and take those core fundamental movements and apply resistance to them to help strengthen your hips. All right, because at the end of the day, the hip cars are about taking you through your maximum range, building strength while you get into those maximum ranges, and that means fundamentally those movements, when you add resistance, add weight, they'll just be good for building strength. Cool. All right. Man, I'm super out of breath demonstrating all these different variations. Oh, all right. Let's scroll and take a look at TikTok. I have a bunch of awesome people who have shared the live. Thank you, Vital Curves. Christine has followed. Thank you so much. And Cami Nunez asks, "Hi, do you have exercises you recommend for knee, quadriceps, and calves if I have a sprained ankle?" Hmm. Is your sprained ankle currently sprained and you still want to work on your knees, quads, and calves without, your ankle being fully recovered. Is that what you're asking about? Let me know. And while you let me know, I'm gonna scroll up and see what else I can answer. Soleil says them side splits almost took me out. Me too. Uh, I've been doing a version of them where I'm using my own muscles to hold me up, especially that third round. And my inner thigh muscles are really tired now. So I hear you. They're not easy, but you're done, and you got more tomorrow. So come back. True Blue 323 says you're such a supportive and inspiring person. I was in your live this morning. Thanks for all that you do. That's so kind. I'm gonna take a screenshot of that. I don't know when I'm gonna look at it again, but I'm gonna have it so it'll keep me motivated and happy when I am down. Cami says thank you. Marlorn T says I'll come back tomorrow. Yes, I'll see you tomorrow. And Cutie says thank you. Sule says thank you. We're gonna keep scrolling. Sule says again. Yes, yes, again. Always a lot. Consistency. All right. Cutie Eclipse says I was afraid that you might have had to save me. Oh no. Well, I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad you saved yourself because I'm on the other side of some tech and some magic screens. Ellie May 66 says, I love that you're doing these. I need to join you some night and some morning. We appreciate it. Thank you, Ellie. I appreciate you. That's very kind. We're here every single night at 9 p.m. Eastern, which was an hour and 21 minutes ago. So, whatever that time is for you, an hour and 21 minutes ago. That's the live. Put it in your calendars, set some reminders, alarms if you'd like, and hit follow, hit subscribe. Cool. Um, what else do we have? Those are AI summaries. That means that's just me reminding myself of what I've been talking about. Plump Bullfrog says, we are all stretching together. Amazing. Amazing. Aisha asks for postpartum moves, please. I don't know anything about postpartum. So I am not going to be able to do that without a whole bunch of research. Which means it's probably not going to happen because I have a day job and I already do like 16 hours of live side splits every single week. So making changes to the life is a big commitment for me. And if there's I don't know if I have enough people in my regular audience who want the postpartum to justify the big change. Because like I said, we're doing consistency. All right. We got at symbol username whose account is KSJXVS. Hi, KSJXVS. Do we do lives in the morning? Well, it is funny you ask. Today is Sunday, and on Saturday and Sunday, so on the weekend mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern, we do two lives. Sorry, on the Saturday morning and on the Sunday morning, we do one live each on those days at 9 a.m. Eastern time, and those are the days that we do them. So for the rest of the week, no, I do not have any more morning lives. But next Saturday and next Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern time, we do have more lives. If you want to make sure you're available for those, hit follow, hit subscribe, and I'll see you there soon. Okay? Okay. What else we got? What else we got? What else we got? What else we got? I'm scrolling, I'm scrolling, I'm scrolling. I'm trying to get to the top. We got a lot of people who have followed. Thank you, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed the live. Maddie says, I have a hard time with sitting in the squat. I think it's my right hip. If you are struggling with spending time sitting in the squat, something you might be able to do is find different things to sit on. All right. You don't have to go all the way down into the deepest squat and like imagine, pretend that it's comfortable because for a lot of people it's not, right? Like if you're not ready for it, you're not ready for it, and that's okay. One of the ways you can prepare yourself to be ready for deeper squats is to just sit on something that is almost challenging to get your body ready for, when you're not sitting on that thing, right? When you're sitting down on something, that thing is supporting your body weight just a little bit, takes a little bit pressure off of your hip, and that might be all the difference for that right hip. Um, yeah, I think in general, that would probably be the most straightforward piece of advice. Find something to sit on. It could be lots of yoga blocks that you stack up. This time, it could be a lot of textbooks that you can stack up and just get real close to where it's almost uncomfortable in that right hip and just find a way to change your seating situation so that your hip gets used to that new position. All right? Whew. All right. What else we got? What else we got? Alec 400 says, Doggo! Debbie says, "Hi, Lola." Oh man, the dogs were loved, and they're preoccupied with something else. So good, I can finish my life. Exalting the Lord says, "Thank you." Chereth sends awesome emojis. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am scrolling to see if there's anything else we need to talk about. Okay. Alex says, "Hope you're off tomorrow for Memorial Day." I don't plan on it. It's gonna be 9 p.m. So I'm, you know, most people have work the next day. So 9 p.m. we're just getting ready for bed and then getting ready to go back to work for the next morning. So um, I'm glad you enjoyed the dogs and the side splits, and I hope to actually see you tomorrow because I'm not planning to be off. I'm planning to be here. So I'll see you for some more consistency tomorrow. Feel free, everybody else, to take Memorial Day off. It's really not that big a deal to me. I show up to help you practice consistency. And if you need to take a day off, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, right? I do the live 9 times a week, 7 days a week at 9 p.m., and then 2 times 9 a.m. on Saturday morning and Sunday morning. That does not mean you have to show up for all 9 rounds, all right? You should take your time, you should recover, you should feel good, you should enjoy the thing that you're showing up for, okay? This is just how I, in my really crazy way, show up for you. And you absolutely should rest. You should enjoy the training. You should have fun, right? If it becomes a huge burden, it's not going to be fun. You're not going to like it. You're going to hate it. You're not going to want to come back. And that is not how you practice consistency. So if there's any principle to take away from this, um, most of us can't avoid working, so you have to do that every day. You might hate it, and you still might have to show up occasionally, and that's how that goes, because money. But for the other things that you're working on, that isn't a life or death thing. When you're just like picking up a hobby, trying to get better at something like side splits, if you put yourself in a position where you absolutely hate your time doing it, it's not going to help you make any progress, right? You're just not going to want to be there. And if you don't want to be there, somewhere deep down your body's going to know you don't want to be there, and it's just not going to be focusing, it's not going to be paying attention, it's not going to be trying as hard, and that just means you're wasting your time. So if you need to take some time off, please go rest, heal, feel good, feel energized, come back, and then we'll do some more side splits. Cool. All right, what else we got? What else we got? Hi, please, could it help a knee that's bone on bone? um I don't have any expertise on true, like, bone to bone, deep knee damaged situations and trying to build strength from there and moving better. There is a dude out there. His name is Knees Over Toes Guy. And I think he would suggest that you might be able to build up enough strength to make your knees feel better while you move. But I really don't know. And from the content I've seen from Knees Over Toes Guy, I'm not sure he says anything specifically about it. But he does have a big old metal knee in one of his legs, and he went from the doctor telling him he's never going to be able to like really do anything with that leg again, to being able to dunk and land and jump off like ladders and stuff to demonstrate how badass his knees are. So I think the optimist in me wants to tell you you can definitely strengthen your muscles and the support in your ligaments and around your joints to help make your knees more comfortable in your day-to-day life. The reality is, I got no idea because it's not my field of expertise. I just help people stay consistent. Okay, so I don't know. I'm sorry, Christine. All right. I think that is. Oh, okay. Cami says, I'm not fully recovered, but I'm losing muscle and getting cramps in these areas. Got it. I see. Okay, so this was about the sprained ankle and losing muscle in the calves, the quads, and the legs. Sorry, misspelled. English is not my first language. Not a problem, Cami. Um, Jota says, thank you. Norma says, new here, need to try exercises. Thank you for sharing this. Amazing. Thank you for being here. I hope you hit follow because those things will start popping up in your feed and you won't have to go looking too hard for them. Knees, quads, and calves. If you have a sprained ankle. Okay, let me think about this. If you have a sprained ankle, hypothetically, you don't want to move your ankle, but you still want to work your calves. That is going to be tough because your calves are very much tied with your ankle joint and bring the foot down. I think it's technically possible to contract your abs, or sorry, to contract your calves without actually moving very much at the joint. But that's not going to build your calves up or probably maintain that much muscle because you can't contract particularly hard, probably for most people, compared to really, really, really cranking on that ankle doing the calf raise. Um, I guess you could do the isometric contractions because you can't move your ankle. There is a type of exercise where you're just contracting the muscles as hard as you can and using that to help maintain a little bit of muscle. That might work. So you might not have to do anything with your calves necessarily. You can probably grab just under your leg and imagine that you're trying to pull your leg down into the ground. You're fighting your arm and you're just contracting as many muscles in your leg as possible while you're trying to fight it with your hand. When all those muscles are firing, that will help to stimulate the muscles and that will help you to maintain some of that muscle without moving your ankle. If you were to want to work on your quads, that is pushing. And what else was it? Calves, quads, and calves, quads, and oh, knee for a sprained ankle. I feel like most things require your ankle to be involved and moving, but let me think. The quad muscle, when it contracts, it straightens out the knee. So it's not at all necessary for your ankle to move. But what can you do to strengthen your quads? Okay, I got a couple options. One, you can slightly change the movement in general, and you can focus on flexing the quad and trying to lift the leg a little bit. That is going to actually focus on the hip more than the quad itself. But if you want to sort of do leg raises where you're pulling your knee towards your chest and you push away, you fight it, that should apply just enough pressure into your quad muscles so that you can get a little bit of stimulation into the leg muscles. Um, I think most exercises are really hard to not have your feet to do. I'm trying to think if there's like a really obvious movement where you're not really using. When the quad contracts, it straightens out your leg, right? And when you push off something to straighten, that is when the quad gets nice and tense. So when your leg is tense, you can potentially just focus on this as an isometric. You don't have to have movement the entire time. If you contract the muscle as hard as possible, that could hypothetically do enough to keep and maintain some muscle. I don't know how jacked you are. If you're super jacked, that probably might not be enough. You might need more stimulation to maintain the muscle. If you're relatively normally jacked, like in the middle, I don't know, 60th percentile of jackedness, um, I think focusing on contracting and isometrically working those muscles without actually moving should be enough to let your ankle heal for another week or two, and you'll be back to regular exercise. I think the danger of doing a lot of exercise when you have a sprained ankle is that you might just slip, you might just trip, you might just kind of fall over, and all of a sudden you land on your ankle and it starts hurting again. So most of the stretches that, or most of the things that I was recommending had you sitting on your butt on the floor, so you didn't have to stand. Um, is there anything else that I can think of off the top of my head? No, I think that's all I got. All right, I hope that was helpful. And let's wrap up. Cami Nunez says, "Thank you very much. I will try them." Awesome. Okay. Oh, Samsung TV says, "Do you use kettlebells for your exercise?" And ooh, we got a whole bunch of stuff on YouTube. Hold on. Oh, Christine says, "Thanks. Watching from South Africa. It's almost 4:30 a.m. Have a blessed day." Thank you for being here, Christine. Uh, Definitely go to bed, sleep a lot. This 9 p.m. live is gonna be really difficult for you in general, I think, because it's runs from 3 to 4:30 a.m. And you should definitely check out the Saturday and Sunday morning lives instead, because those will be 3 to 4:30 p.m. for you instead of 3 to 4:30 a.m. And if you can, I'd prefer you to be sleeping if this is, a time that you could be normally sleeping. Cool. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna take a look at the YouTube real quick again. Da, 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 da. Crab Chaz says, "Thank you, appreciate it. I already do the warm up exercises you do on the lives. I will add the fire hydrant exercises. That should help me out." Good. Um, what was I saying about that? The hip cars are just a demonstration of like a very basic lightweight version of what your hips can do, right? So you can always add difficulty to it, and that's what I was trying to express. Where if you're trying to focus on strengthening the muscle that brings the leg out to the side. If you have a rubber band, right, pulling against your leg, strapped maybe right here across your or just under your knee and coming out that way. If you work on doing this motion, that will help you strengthen that fire hydrant in a slightly different way, in a slightly different angle, right? Um, so use the hip cars as a template for figuring out other ways to add resistance to those movements. Um, I hope that sentence makes sense. Cool. What else do we have? Samsung TV asked, "Do you use kettlebells for your exercise?" Not recently. This live started basically while I was doing really long-term traveling, so I didn't have access to very much equipment unless I went and found the gym. But we were traveling and going to lots of different places, so I didn't have any tools. So in the last year or so, probably, I haven't really used kettlebells at all. I'm now home, so I do have access to kettlebells in the garage, but in storage, I guess. But haven't used them at all in a while. But I do like kettlebells. Samsung asks, "Do you have a chance to teach how to learn pistol squat?" Yes, I have a couple of short form videos over on the social media platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, breaking down some basics about the pistol squat. One of them is like a skit where I'm reacting to myself trying to teach the pistol squat, but we can talk about it a little bit right now. When you do the pistol squat, I want you to be strong enough to come on down on both legs without any issues, right? The deeper you can come down, the easier it will be for you when you actually work on the pistol squat. So if you have a really good deep squat, that will really help, right? There's another version of a one-legged squat called a shrimp squat that looks a little bit like this. Instead of having your leg in front of you, you just have the leg off to the side, you come on down and you can come back up, right? If you're just working on that range of motion, you're not going as deep yet, you can feel free to do the shrimp squat and build up some strength there. I recommend you grab a whole bunch of things to make your pistol squat a little bit easier. One of them would be maybe a door frame, right? If you are in a door, imagine, on either side there's a door frame that I'm holding onto. If you hold onto the door frame like this, you can extend your arm, or sorry, you can extend your leg on the outside of the door frame, and you can hold on to that to help keep you stable while you work on coming up and down. All right. As you get stronger, you can go deeper and deeper and deeper. Keep on holding to that door frame until you come down. All right. The hardest part is this down position. So if you can spend time using that door frame, using that support to work on this down, up, down position and build some strength and mobility and comfort there, that will go a long way. Um, what else we got? Ooh. One of the big things is compression and keeping your leg close to your chest, all right, and holding it there. So if you're struggling with keeping these two parts, your chest and your thigh, close together, it's going to be really hard to balance here at the bottom of your squat, your pistol squat. Okay? If you want to fall backwards like this, your leg is not going to be able to hold you up. All right? So when you're holding on to that door frame and you're pulling yourself in, that little bit of support, keep an eye on how much help you're getting from holding onto the wall. At some point, you will want to probably train to pull your knee into your chest, help compress, maybe do something that looks a little bit like this. You don't need a crazy amount because mine aren't that good, and I can do the pistol squat fine. So, what else we got? We got this for the hardest part, which is coming down and standing back up. And you want to make sure your legs are strong enough to go as close to straight up and down as possible. All right. If you're finding that your knee is shaking and going all over the place when you're coming down, you should probably work on maybe an assisted pistol squat, or maybe working on just a little bit of that range of motion where you do have control and slowly working your way down. Uh, what other specific pistol squat things do I have? If you are struggling with lifting the leg, because here I'll demonstrate on the floor first. If you're struggling with keeping this leg up high enough so that it's out the way, so that you can come down into the pistol squat, you can elevate one of your legs and do this from a little bit higher up, right? You can go here and come on up. You might realize if you find something to step onto that you have enough strength to hold this position and come out of it, but you don't have enough strength to do it with this leg hanging out doing whatever it is doing. Maybe the leg you don't have control of, it's throwing you off balance. Those are all things that you can test by doing a couple of squats on one leg from a higher surface and letting this leg relax. Right. Just before I was giving you an example of another squat called a shrimp squat, which is a one-legged squat where you basically just have this leg chilling behind you and you do your squats. Right. The shrimp squat is a good version of a squat to do so that you can work your way down and make sure you're building up strength without needing that really strong leg holding up so that you don't fall backwards. Okay. I did this all on my right leg because my left knee is a little achy and I don't want to put a whole bunch of pistol reps in on that leg. And oh, now my right leg is tired. Okay. Uh, Door frame really helps. I just tried. Amazing. That's awesome. I'm glad that worked for you. I'm gonna recap real quick. There are lots of parts of a pistol squat specifically that are probably unnecessarily difficult. So it's a cool move. You should absolutely learn it and master it. But for building pure strength, it's not the end all be all body weight one leg exercise, right? The shrimp squat coming down real low on one leg and coming back up will build plenty of strength as well. Cool. Uh, where are we? Keeping that core nice and tight, keeping those glutes nice and tight, focusing on lifting that leg just enough. You don't have to hold it up the whole time. You can have the foot almost dragging on the floor so you use as little energy as possible to come on down. Keep the core tight, bring that chest to the knee together. Stick your arms out in front of you to help counterbalance. If you want, you can also hold a little bit of a dumbbell, something really far in front to help keep your center of gravity a little bit more that way so that you stay on the foot instead of falling backwards off the foot. All right. That is basically the same as you holding the door frame. The door frame keeps you from falling backwards. If you had a weight and you try to lean forward and let the weight pull you down, same sort of effect. All right. So from here, once you've worked on that compression and you're powering through that leg, you might already have enough strength to do that power through. To figure it out, if you do, you can elevate your leg on something a little bit higher so that what's holding you back is not this leg having to hold you up. Does that even make sense? The leg that is straight out in front often throws people off. So if you find a taller platform where this leg can't interrupt you as much, you don't need as much flexibility, you don't have to lift it as high, that might be how you determine what you need to work on. If you have enough strength in this leg to power through, come up into standing, and it's just this leg and the flexibility in holding it up that's throwing you off, then you can focus on the holding the leg up thing, right? Whew. Okay, hope that was helpful. What else we got? What else we got? Nora Gefex says, "Can you show me the push-up, the true push-up form?" Sure. True push-up form. In general, for a push-up, we want our arms to look a little bit like this. You don't have to tuck your elbows to your ribs. You can sort of be anywhere between this ish range. The reason why we don't do this is because it puts a whole bunch of weird pressure on your shoulders and on your elbows. So if you tuck your elbows in a little bit, so you're kind of here like a little chicken clucking, that is going to be a good arm position. And that is the main thing for this angle. From the front, I want you to try your best to rotate so that your elbows, the elbow pit, this thing right here, is kind of pointing forward as much as you can. So when you're coming down, it looks a little bit like this. All right? And not like this. We don't want the elbows to go out that way. We want it to go back behind us as much as possible. Your hands, if you can, spread them nice and wide. That will help spread your weight. It'll be easier to control how much pressure is coming out of your hands and help you balance a little bit when your fingers are spread. And this is the general arm motion. All right. Next, depending on the variation that you're working on, if you're doing maybe a kneeling variation, all that matters is that your glutes are tight, your core is tight, like you're bracing for a punch. Somebody's about to beat you, and you're going, oh, staying nice and tight. And that once you piece all of it together, your whole entire body is basically just a plank, right? It's a straight line. It's not moving at all. And one of the ways you can make sure it doesn't move is keeping the glutes nice and tight, keeping the core nice and tight, and doing that push. If you're ready for more push-ups and you're ready to go straight into, I guess they're called standard push-ups. Again, flex your glutes, flex your abs, flex more muscles, maybe your quads, your calves, your toes, your arms, and you can make sure that you're maintaining that strict, strong plank and keep going up and down. Notice the arms were still rotated like this, so that the elbows were pointed back-ish, and the front of that elbow pit was basically pointing forward. All right, so that the arms are going down and back like that. That will probably cover you for a while if you're looking at push-up form. So hopefully that's all you need. Cool. All right. Samsung TV says thank you so much. Awesome. Nora Giff has said nothing else, so I think that is all we got for today. I'm tired. I did a lot more reps of pistols and push-ups than I was expecting. All right. We're basically 107 minutes deep into the live. It's time for me to wrap up. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in, practicing consistency, working on your hip mobility, your side splits, and of course, all the other cool skills that you're also working on. And I hope to see you real soon because we got another live in about 22 hours and 13 minutes. So tomorrow night, we'll be back working on more side splits, more hip mobility, working on that consistency. Again, number one most important skill. And I'll see you guys real soon. Hit follow, hit subscribe, and I'm going to shut it off. So goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Peace. Closing it out here. And